CNN breaking news. Yes. There is going to be a major... Oh, you guys can't hear me, so hang on.
I can't see the chat. It should be on now. Oh, come on.
I can see but not hear. I posted. We're working on the sound.
Whoa, whoa.
There is going to be a major... Oh, you guys can't hear me, so hang on.
Whoa.
What's wrong? Now they can hear me loud and clear. Sometimes better not to hear. Sound works now. Oh, thank you. Okay, they can hear me now. Now they can hear. Okay. So there's going to be a major announcement tonight. So this is like CNN breaking news. Kind of excited. Well, I'm excited but sad about this one. This one? I painted my nails last night just for the live chat, but they look terrible now because I already broke like 5. Oh, the sound is kind of off. The audio is terrible. And my voice with bad audio is not a good combination. My voice is always squeaky low. Oh, thank you guys. Now sound again. Wonderful. And it's done. No pressure, cameraman. I can't. Car, like just whack it a little bit and then suddenly it starts to work. So Amazon would not refund. Oh, that's ridiculous. Amazon would not refund my Purito sunscreens. Oh. Volume is back, but extremely low.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I'm looking glowing and awesome. Oh, you think it's
We're
working?
good.
We're good? Oh, they can hear me. Do I sound like squeaky but not staticky? Because squeaky's okay, but squeaky and staticky would drive me nuts. My own voice drives me nuts, so... Oh, they can hear perfectly now. Good work, camera/sound man. We gotta get you, like, 2 titles now. We gotta get you the shirt that said cameraman and sound man. Yay, audio is much better, but now I can hear myself.
Hang on, I'll turn it down.
Okay. I can...
He's
okay, but squeaky and
staticky
would drive me nuts. My own voice drives me nuts. Ah, I can't stand the sound of my own voice.
There we go.
Okay, perfect.
Tell everybody I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry about that delay, but I gotta do more live streams so we get practiced at it. So next time before I do a live stream, I'll ask what day works great, because some people, Fridays don't work, Saturdays work better. So last time I did a consensus, it seemed like Fridays worked well, but perhaps that's changed now because everything in the world has changed, like, in the last few months. So anyway, there we go. So... let's see. Yes. All things said, I don't think I can ever trust sunscreens with just 2 filters in them. Very true. So refunds. So somebody commented that Amazon would not refund their sunscreens. So personally, Amazon used to be really good about returning things, but Amazon seems like they've changed a lot lately. I've been having issues just selling my jars on there because of the word antioxidants. It triggered some kind of thing where they took my product down for like a month, and then they said antioxidants were like an anti-pesticide thing, and they didn't know what antioxidant meant, and it was so frustrating, and then suddenly they're back online again. So Amazon's, they've got to be messing with stuff, because they used to have like the best refund policy. So personally, I think I would keep bugging them, or maybe even email Purito and tell them what you're going through. Because YesStyle is supposedly going to be issuing refunds pretty liberally at first, they said, and then now it sounds like it might not be so liberal. So I would just, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I think if you keep texting them or text Purito and say, what am I supposed to do? I bought 4 of these. I mean, can you refund me for the sun damage I've incurred over the last year? You know, asking for $20 back for a sunscreen that isn't much of a sunscreen, it's more of a moisturizer, is ridiculous. So I will talk about JLo's skincare line at the end. So I've got it on my list of things, because I have a lot of thoughts about that as well. So, yes, live streams every day. Man, that would be fun. You know, I'll start doing them more often.
No, thank you.
Cameraman's going to retire. Retiring young. Big skincare influencers who recommend sunscreens heavily, but not even a word now. Yes. So, oh, wow! We already got $10. That's freaking hot. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. Oh, Jenny and Krypton, thank you guys. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, thank you.
Oh my god, there's a 20. Too.
Wow, thank you guys. Oh, I'm getting emotional. I'm getting verklempt. Okay. So, yeah, someone said don't throw it away. Use it elsewhere as a moisturizer or layer it. Layering sunscreens is great. I highly recommend it. Or in Minnesota, it's not as big of a deal all the time because our sun isn't very hot even in the summer, but like in the winter, on days when it's very cloudy and there's little to no sun, it's probably okay as long as you layer it with a good powder or layer it with a good BB cream that has sunscreen. But even with the snow, reflects the sun, and it can be even hotter. So it's not total garbage, but if you can return it and get a refund, that's what I would recommend doing at this point, because personally, there's a lot more sunscreens I have a lot of thoughts on. So first of all, I want to apologize for my review of the Purito sunscreen. I did not go with my gut, and I rewatched my initial review of it, and I mentioned I thought it was odd it has 2 filters. I thought it was odd, but there's all these scientists, lab scientists, that have said it's good. Purito had posted studies on their website, which I could not find anywhere. It's been scrubbed. I even went to the Wayback Machine, which archives websites. I couldn't find that. Purito's website was only archived one time, and they didn't even archive that page. So I couldn't go back to find it. So in my review of it, I said it's weird. It only has 2 filters, but according to lab scientists, they're saying it's great. According to Purito's own studies, they're saying it's great. It's passed the regulatory boards. So I must be wrong. And I'm annoyed with myself that I did not stick to my guns more, because in my back of my head, I thought something is up with this. This is not normal. But there's several other sunscreens that only have 2 filters, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. And I should have stuck to my guns more, and I wish I would have, but I can't go back and change time. There's people that are a heck of a lot smarter than me that were fooled by it, so it makes me feel a little bit less dumb, I guess. I don't know. But they kind of conned everybody. And even on Purito's site, when they sold those sunscreens, they had all these studies done, their ages. I remember looking at it and thinking, well, I don't know what I'm talking about, because they've got manufacturers, it's the brand, the regulatory board, and even all these other influencers are saying it's good. So I must not know what I'm talking about. And I'd only been doing reviews for like 3 years at that point. So from now on, I will stick to my guns every single time. I'm not going to apologize for saying I think something might not be as great as they say it is. That's kind of where I'm coming from now. So, yeah, I wish I would have stuck to my guns more, but I'm not perfect. So, anyway. Okay, so let me... Oh, thank you, Molly, too. Wow, you guys are amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Oh, thank you, guys. Oh, you guys love me and forgive me. Thank you.
Did you see the Canadian one?
Oh, wow. Thank you, guys.
Tell her
Krypton, Molly, Meg.
$Canadian there whenever we can get.
Yeah, can we ever get back to Canada? I love Canada, though. You know what? Canada reminds me of Minnesota, so. Because it is kind of like Minnesota, so. Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah, my friend is using the Purito Sunscreen as her nighttime moisturizer. That's about as good as it is, so. So, let's see. So if we get a refund of the Purito sunscreen, does that mean we lose the legal right in case of anything? I am not certain about that. I don't necessarily know, like in the U.S., if there will be a class action lawsuit, because technically I don't think the Purito is sold anywhere brick and mortar. I think it was all online from out of country vendors. So I don't necessarily know if I see anything in the U.S. happening there. But I personally think if you get a refund and you get all your recoup for all of the sunscreen you've purchased, I kind of think you might not have any standing there. But I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But just from looking at other class action cases, they typically have a very specific deadline. If you bought and paid for this product in this time, you're a class action member, but I don't know. So... But in the U.S., I really don't necessarily think there will be a class action suit, because Purito's an out-of-country company. They were sold by out-of-country websites. I never saw the Purito sunscreen in brick and mortar. I don't think I saw the Claire sunscreen in brick and mortar anywhere. So, anyway. So, any of you guys remember when you purchased a Purito sunscreen? Did you purchase it directly or look at it on their website? Do you guys remember seeing any of their tests? Because it's interesting that... Can you pull up... Oh, no, you can't.
What do you want me to pull up?
That FDA letter.
Oh, give me a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I think is the...
Did you see Meg?
Meg, thank you.
Did you see Meg and Molly?
Molly, Krypton, and then Ginny. Thank you, guys. I will do anything you guys want me to.
That's Meg from Patreon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got another one. Oh, my gosh. Rocket candy colored. You guys are amazing. Thank you, guys.
I'll pull that up right now.
This is you know what? I just love this, because I can buy all this stuff with my own money, and I don't have to say a thing for any company, because so many influencers, I think, had worked with Purito or had a relationship with Purito. A lot of them. A lot of the big ones. Purito reached out to us just saying, hey, whatever we can do, let me know. I'm like, well, thanks, but I'm buying this stuff with my own money, because I don't want to feel like, I don't want you to send me a nice email, because I don't feel like I want to have to feel like I have to say something nice. So don't send me anything. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. And I'm going to say whatever the heck I want to. So, okay.
You want the FDA letter?
Yeah.
All right, hang on one second.
So this is interesting. So,
there it is.
2 years ago.
Can you see it?
I've got it printed out.
There we go.
Can you guys see it? We put it on the screen. The FDA sent this letter to the brand that makes the sunscreens for Purito, Claire's, and a few other brands. Nowcos. The FDA sent them a warning letter in 2018, basically saying, you guys are doing things a little sketchy here. Your testing process is not up to what we consider the standards to be. They found deviations in their testing processes. They don't have a vetted procedure to ensure that they're making accurate, consistent batches of products. They're not sampling or testing their products to a sufficient degree before selling them. They cannot be sure that they know through sampling that bacterial growth process techniques, if there are any bacteria contaminated while making the product. They don't necessarily have the good cleanup procedures for their equipment. And if you don't have good cleanup procedures, you can get cross-contamination and buildup. They don't know how long their product lasts within the manufacturing process. So they basically, that letter in 2018 basically said you don't have adequate studies to say that these products are effective to what you're claiming them to be. I found this fascinating that 2 years ago that there was a letter and that the FDA in the U.S. was aware of it. Kind of like, not necessarily that they're aware that these are not great sunscreens, but, you know, we're a little iffy. You don't have the procedures that we consider to be adequate. So, I can put a link up to it as well. But I found this letter to be fascinating. So 2 years ago, Nowcos, the manufacturer that Purito contracted to make the sunscreen, said, wow, this sunscreen, it might not be effective. And if you were following our testing procedures, you'd be doing things totally differently. And I'm a little bit even more freaked out about the things where they're talking about the contamination and bacterial growth and one batch not being the same as the last batch. So then you even wonder, well, is the one that was sent to be tested the same batch from the other batches that were sold? So it sounds like there wasn't a lot of cohesiveness in their processes, a lot of cleanup, a lot of testing, a lot of uniformity. And they knew this, and this has been looked at for a couple of years now. So they were aware of this 2 years ago that the FDA was wanting to talk to them. I don't know, did Nowcos contact Purito and say, gee, we got a scary letter from the FDA? So maybe there will be some sort of class action in the U.S. I mean, if the FDA was in on this 2 years ago, but I just think something has to be sold and bought in the U.S. to have a class action. But I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know. But I play one on TV? I don't. But I almost was a lawyer like 10 years ago. So, anyway. So, okay, so why aren't any of the big influencers talking about the Purito controversy? I think because they sold themselves out to Purito, probably. Purito is not a big brand like 5 years ago. I don't even really remember. I remember they had a few products, but nothing like they are now where everyone knows who they are, to the point where they won an award in my No BS Beauty Award show, which I'm going to also talk about in a minute. So I think a lot of big YouTubers probably got money from them. I think some of the big YouTubers that are even talking about it probably got money from them, and now they're like, well, my integrity is on the line. I said this is great. It's being shown not to be great. I'm going to have to say something. So I think a lot of people just don't want to say it because they don't want to lose their money. That has to be part of it. I mean, Purito has been big. You know what? If you look at almost any of these brands, they work with influencers so much. It's amazing how many emails I get a day. I mean, how many do we get a day from just brands?
At least 5 to 10.
Yeah, at least 5 to 10 just from brands. From other people wanting to sell stuff, probably 500 to 600 a day.
Free to review.
Free to review, yeah.
And we're little.
And we're we're a tiny little channel compared to some of these other ones. So, yeah.
I'm going to post the link here in a second to that letter.
Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so let me go back to this. So, Claire's, in case you missed my other video, Claire's has stated that they are not going to sell this one right now, and they're sending it to labs to be tested. The same thing with the Keep Cool sunscreen. So at this point, I wouldn't use either of these. The Keep Cool has a different filter than the other ones. And it wasn't made by Nowcos. So I'm hoping that the Keep Cool does better. But at this point, I'm not extremely optimistic. But I'm hoping it does do better. And to be honest, there's other brands that have had issues. Dr. Jart. This one came out, it says SPF 30. It came out in testing to be like 9. Ren Sunscreen has had the same issues. There's been so many brands that have had issues. It's not a K-Beauty thing. So I want to make that clear. It's not a K-Beauty thing, but it is becoming a K-Beauty problem because so many of them use the same manufacturer. If they wouldn't have used this Nowcos, it might not be looked at so much as a K-Beauty thing because almost every company and almost every brand has had something similar happen. However, with Purito, to me it seems like there might be a bit of a cover-up because that manufacturer, their contracted manufacturer, got that letter 2 years ago saying something's up, something doesn't add up here. And the fact that they didn't say something about it earlier. So, to me, Claire's might be skating by really lightly on this one because I have a feeling that Claire's used the exact same 2 filters that the Purito one uses. I have a feeling Claire's is going to be found to be the same SPF 19 or 20. So I don't know why Claire's is... They're kind of getting a little bit of a free pass on this one because it's the same manufacturer. So I don't know. We'll find out when those tests come out. I think they did the right thing by pulling the product. Although I've seen like third-party sellers now selling these sunscreens for like $50 because you can't buy them anywhere else. So you might be on a hot commodity that people really want now because they can't get it. It's like my dad, when Campbell's stopped making their split pea soup, he looked online and was like, here's a can of split pea soup from Campbell's. Campbell's the only one that makes the good kind. It's like $30. And I'm like, no, don't do it. Don't. But like, if it's $30, it's got to be better than the dollar soup, right? I don't know. I don't fall for that stuff, but my dad does. So it's expensive. It's got to be good. So.
You're on your own for 2 minutes.
Okay. Oh, I can't buy Niode Survival 30 in the U.S. So I finally got a bottle of the Niode 30. Essential.com. They will sell K-Beauty, Korean, European, Japanese sunscreens. So, and that website is ESCUENTUAL. Essential. Not essential, but essential. They will sell it. Beauty Bay will also sell the Niode SPF 30 Survival, but they've had it out of stock. So, I should make a list of places to get other sunscreens from. Because most sites, like, you can't even buy, like, European sunscreens that have shipped here. You have to... Care to Beauty is another one. So, Beauty Bay, that Essential, and Care to Beauty. There's also, like, Cocoon Center that also sells like European K-Beauty sunscreens to Americans because it's so hard to get because the FDA doesn't want to do any new filters. So I'll do a video about that. Do you have a pen handy?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay. So that's something to remember. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, so the other, thank you.
Work?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to type in these websites. Okay, so those are 3 sites that Americans should be able to buy European sunscreens from.
Did you post it in the chat?
Yes,
okay.
I just did. There's 3 of them, so. Okay, so, getting back to that. There's other sunscreens I am concerned about at this point. And I just want to talk about them as well a little bit. So, this one I just purchased recently. The Peking Yule Atto Mild Sun Cream. This one only uses, I believe it was titanium dioxide in this one. And it has little to no white cast. So, this one I'm nervous about as well. So, personally, I think if you're using this one, do a little bit of caution with it. The CosRX Aloe Sun Cream, also asked about. I'm nervous about this one as well. This one is a mineral chemical combo sunscreen, so it's not using the same 2 filters as these other ones, but I am nervous about this one. So on a sunny, bright day, don't use it.
Hold it up to the camera close to you.
You see that one?
Yeah.
So I'm nervous about it. I'm not saying it's bad or good, but just be aware. And you know, before I even got into like skincare, we were in Niagara Falls with my family, the last trip we ever took with my mom, and I was using a sunscreen that was a Tarte brand sunscreen, and we were out in the sun, and I got so burnt, and I'm like, remember that? Yeah. I'm like, this is a good sunscreen. It's from Tarte. It's SPF 45. How can I be getting burnt? And I was reapplying it. And now I think it's this long generational pattern of sunscreens that just aren't great. And I think you got to use your gut. On a winter, like somebody asked, during the winter months, or if it's cloudy out, or if you're mostly inside, I think any of these are fine on days like that. If you're mostly inside, you're going out for 10 or 20 minutes most, and it's not very sunny out, these are fine. And there's a lot of people that will look at the UV index for the day and decide if they're wearing sunscreen based on that. I don't really recommend doing that because I did that once. When I started out, the UV index was 1, but by the end of the day, it was like 10. So I don't recommend doing that, but vitamin D is a good thing, especially for this thing that's going around. Vitamin D levels have been shown to really help fight off the thing or be helping your skin in your body. So a little bit of sun here and there is not bad, but if you use retinol, exfoliants, acids, things like that, do plastic surgery, have had dermabrasion, things like that, then obviously that's a different case. But if you're just inside most of the day, I think a low-level SPF is okay. So that's what I think. But if you have hyperpigmentation, that's a different story. Let's see. Okay, so. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll up. I'm trying to stay on top of everything, so it's hard to do. Yeah, it's SPF 19 enough for winter months. Although, if you have a lot of snow on the ground and it's sunny out, just remember that snow reflects it back, so you can even get it a little bit worse. But if it's very, very cloudy out and the UV level's low, I think this is okay. I still recommend 30 and above on a regular daily basis, but use your own judgment. If it's very cloudy and you're going to be inside almost all the day, then something like that is fine, in my opinion. So the other sunscreens that I'm a little bit concerned about, the Claire's, their newer one, their blue one, that this is a mineral one. I have a feel they didn't pull this one, I don't think, but I have a feeling this was made by Nowcos. And I've got a list of all the brands Nowcos works with. This one I'm a little leery of now as well. And then Suncut in some tests did not do great. Suncut has a lot of different. This one? Yeah. Suncut in some of their tests by Consumer Reports did not do great either. This is, I think, this is a Japanese brand. So keep that one in mind. And then I've got also. Oh, we got another 5 from Rocket Candy. Oh, wow. I love candy. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here is the other ones that they mentioned. So the Sun by Me Mineral Sunscreen, I have it. Their True Sika Mineral Sunscreen. That one was made by Nowcos, and I actually remember talking to someone on YouTube about it. I think she's here. That she mentioned she used it and noticed she started to get pigmentation issues and burns when she used that one. So that one is also one I would not recommend using at this point. Banabaji? It looks like Banobji. I haven't tried anything from them, but I know okay. So that sunscreen has been pretty made popular by Dr. Dre. That one is also made by Nowcos, from my understanding. So personally, I would probably not use that, especially on sunny days. A lot of these just aren't great for sunny days if you're sweating or swimming. A lot of them. So keep that in mind. Logically Skin. It's a brand that I hadn't been super aware of until recently. It's a K-beauty brand. They're sold on Yes Style. They have some good products, but apparently their sunscreen is made by Nowcos, so I would not use that. Mediheal is another brand that was made by Nowcos. I probably wouldn't use their sunscreen. And then another brand, Zoul, Xoul. So that's another one. If you have anything from them, I would not be using it right now. Okay, so the Ordinary Chemical Sunscreen is coming soon. I know, I just looked at that yesterday. The Ordinary, they've got... Their mineral sunscreens have a white cast, and they're not the most aesthetically pleasing, but I didn't mind them. But they have a chemical one coming, but I've been continually checking, and it still says coming soon. So I keep waiting for it, so we'll see. Okay, so the Peking Yuln one is not really broad spectrum. So these are all sunscreens I just bought in my Yes Style haul. Well, they're not totally garbage. I mean, low-level days you're inside. Or on the back of your hands, things like that. Nothing is ever a total waste. So, let's see. Oh, the Peking Snow Giraffe. Peking Yuln is so bad. It's SPF 5 at most. Yeah. I was so bummed. I had high expectations for it because I liked some of their other products, but this one was just a disappointment all the way around. So, okay. So, yes, Snow Giraffe. P20 has great sunscreen marketed for kids. It has amazing filters, but it feels heavy. That is one of the ones in my list of sunscreens that at this point I would recommend. Although I haven't tried it, I've heard great things. The filters look great. The P20... Ryland's P20. They're sold on Amazon, and I just haven't been able to get my hands on it. The other one is the Norman UV Cure, which is another one. I think it's made in Europe, and I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet, but I'm going to have to do a freight forwarder to get it. That's another option, is freight forwarding to... You can have things that are made in different countries freight forwarded. So you order it, they ship it to somewhere local, and then they ship it to you. It's expensive, but... The Norman's UV Cure sunscreens apparently have a ridiculous, like the highest PPD ever. So those have very good reputations out there. So I'm going to have to try those ASAP. And the other ones at this point that I would recommend, so let me get rid of the bad ones at this point. Get them all the way. So some good ones, the Alley Kennebo. This one I've had great results with. I'm using it right now. Has a very, 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 very light white cast that dissipates in like live studies. It seemed to do well. Actually, it did in one of the in China. They did this study where they did all these little squares. Do you remember this on this person's back? And then they applied all these different sunscreens to it, and then exposed it to light, and then compared a lot of these different J Beauty and K Beauty sunscreens. And the Alley Kennebo one did probably the best out of all of those. I mean, it's not super scientific, but... And the filters it uses looks pretty good, so this one is great. Shoving off the bad ones, getting them all out of there. There's a lot of bad ones. Sadly, my stack of good ones is low. So this is a great one. La Roche-Posay, they've had... they're another company that has had some of their older sunscreens not do so well in testing, but their Shaka's done great. Their Melt-In sunscreen did the best on the Consumer Reports study. I have it, but I couldn't find it, of course. So, La Roche-Posay is pretty trustworthy brand. Ultra Sun, they've got some amazing products. Their Extreme one is great. Like, if I'm going outside on a sunny day, this is what I use. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but if I know I'm going out and I'm going to be outside all day in the sun, sweating, this one's a good one. And they've also got like a tinted version, which is also great. So the Ultra Sun brand is one I trust. The Urage, they've got some products that have fragrance in them. Their Barasun doesn't seem to have any scent to it, which is nice. I believe this one does have a little bit of denatured alcohol in it, but this one I've had great results with. I've used it a lot when I've been walking, and I haven't had any issues at all with it. And the other one is the Elta MD UV Clear. I personally think this is probably good for the SPF side. I have a feeling that the UVA protection, this one is not great. It's probably average because in the US, if you're going to make a sunscreen, you don't have options to a lot of great filters. But this is one I trust on many days. If I'm going to be out like on the boat for 8 hours, I wouldn't use this one. But if I'm outside walking or things like that, this is a nice one that I'll use. And I guess that was it. How sad. Out of all, I probably own over 100 sunscreens, but I've got more I've been testing and trying, so I'll certainly be reviewing those as I get through them. But these right now are ones I implicitly and explicitly trust. There's another one I really like, but at this point I'm nervous about it, and that's the Can Make Mermaid Gel. This is J Beauty. It's made in Japan. It applies like a lotion, which makes me start to wonder. It's got more filters in it than obviously the other ones, but this one I have a feeling it might not be as great. I have a feeling it's just not very sweat proof, which initially when all this Purito stuff came out, I thought it was a sweat issue. I thought it was a reapplication issue. I thought it was a liberal application issue just because I saw all the tests that they had done. So I thought, well, maybe it's user error because people typically don't apply enough. So I really thought that was what was going on, but at this point, obviously, that's not it. But the Can Make, I think, for days you're going to be outside, maybe an hour less, and it's not super sunny out, is good. But I'm nervous about it just because it's too aesthetically pleasing, and I'm starting to feel like if it feels too nice and looks too good, it can't be true. I don't know. It's sad, but I'm kind of gotten to that point. So anyway, I haven't had any bad issues with this one, so... although still on a day if I was going to be outside like on the boat for 8 hours, I wouldn't pick this one. I probably would just pick the Ultra Sun. But anyway. The Kroger Invisible SPF Gel. I've heard great things about that. I have not tried it, but I'm going to add it to my list now. Invisible. Because I heard great things about that a lot on Reddit, and I think it did great on some of the tests, so... Eucerin does have some great sunscreens as well. This is Lauren. Eucerin does have some great sunscreens. Some of them tend to have alcohol in them, but if you can use a good moisturizer underneath, Eucerin... I didn't see any studies where Eucerin sunscreens did terrible. The other one, a brand, Avene. And the other... Oh, here's the other one. Bioderma. Their Photoderm Max line did amazing in all of the studies I've seen. The UVA protection in it is amazing. The SPF protection is great. So the aqua fluid, if you have apply it over layers or have very dry skin, it can get pilly. But this is great, super reliable. I don't have any doubts that this one does a great job. So that's another one worth checking out. So let's see. Oh no. Wait, if she's nervous about Can Make, she'll be shaking about Skin Aqua. Oh, I don't want to hear that. I do have a feeling that that one might not be the greatest too, but Biore's a big brand, so... Sometimes I feel like the bigger brands, like La Roche-Posay or Bioderma, they have a lot more to lose. Like Purito, they're a smaller brand. They've kind of come up in the last few years. They don't have a multi-million-dollar, $100 million war chest. Whereas La Roche-Posay, if one of their huge sunscreens turns out to be an abysmal failure, they have a lot more to lose. They could be really sued for a lot, and they're sold at brick and mortar in a lot of places. So sometimes with the bigger brands, they might actually be more trustworthy because they do have more to lose legally. Which is, I mean, I love supporting smaller brands, but sometimes if they're going to make a flash in the pan, I just wonder if Purito made this sunscreen too good. Like, if they thought we could just sell, like 10 million bottles. It'll be good, but we won't, hit it out of the park so that every single person is saying this is great, because once every single person is saying this is great, then they have something to prove and something to lose. And if Purito has thought, we'll just make it good enough, but not really get super hyped, then we'll just be able to fly under the radar. Like Claire's kind of flew under the radar in this whole deal. So did Purito do too good of a job to the point where people were saying, this is so good it can't be true, and it isn't, because nothing that's really that great is true. I wonder about that. So, let's see. The Alley sunscreen is kind of pricey. But it's sold at... Yes Style sells it. I would just keep an eye on it. Amazon was selling it from the brand, earlier this spring, and it was $50 a bottle. And now I looked at Amazon, and now it's around $25 a bottle. So I don't know why the price changed so much. But it's pricey. But I will say the bottle of this is gigantic. It's, I think in ounces, pretty close to this. Yeah, these are almost have the, this is 90 milliliters. This is 100. So keep that in mind. So it's almost double the size of the rest of these sunscreens. This one's got 40, so this one's over double the size of that. So even though it does look a little bit pricey, the bottle's gigantic. So that's something. The other thing I want to mention, and I mentioned this in another video, the HelioCare pills. I'm not for shilling supplements. I think most of them are a scam. But this one, and I was very, very leery of this, but I did my reading of this on PubMed, and this fern block ingredient that they use in these tablets actually does have proof that it helps your skin fight off UV damage better than when you don't take it. So this is something to consider. The HelioCare sunscreens, I haven't tried any of them because I get through the ingredient list of every single one of them and I'm not impressed with them. But I'm going to have to try some of their sunscreens because some of them do have a good reputation. But the tablets are something worth investing, especially if you live somewhere where it's very sunny. Like on days when I used to take the boat out before it was winter, which I didn't take my dad's boat out much this year, but I would just take one of these, and I do think it does help, and it does have studies showing it does help your skin fight off UV rays, UV damage, and it has good antioxidants in it. So it's something to consider if you can purchase it where you live, especially if you live somewhere sunny or you have days where you're outside all day. It's something to consider. I'm not necessarily saying anybody, if you have a really good sunscreen, you know it's great, you probably don't need this, but it does boost your skin's ability to fight off damage. So it's something to consider. Not everyone has to buy it. So I can't find Allie anywhere. I'm trying to think of, there's a few other little sites that I found that sell the Allie, and you know what, I'm trying to think of what they are. I'll post them, okay, in my sunscreen resource video. I'll do a video on where to buy all these sunscreens, because there's a lot of like little fly-by-night websites that I don't trust that I think sell probably expired or counterfeit things. So I'll do a video on that. But I get it on, I think Yes Style has it. And I can't think of any other site up. Amazon. Amazon, if you can buy it directly from the manufacturer and they're the ones selling it, 9 out of 10 times I trust that on Amazon, but I'm still hesitant. In general, Amazon has done a lot of damage to their brand in the beauty department by letting all these third-party sellers sell products. Now they've really restricted it, so if it's sold by the brand, nobody else can sell it. But a lot of people still don't trust them, and I totally get it. So,
Pesticides.
yeah, and Amazon's a nightmare to work with. So, okay. Let's see. HelioCare 3, is this what this is? 360, oh, there's sunscreen, 360. That's the one I'm going to try. I don't know, I haven't tried any of the HelioCare sunscreens yet, but my next purchase, I'm going to pick up some of them. The Eisden brand, although they've had a sunscreen that did really terrible. I've heard good things about their other sunscreen, so that's another brand I want to try out as well. Let's see, so, Juanita, will I get good SPF coverage if I mix the Purito with my CeraVe tinted sunscreen? Personally, I don't recommend anybody mix anything with a sunscreen, even like the bronzing, like the bronzer. You know, people mix a little bit of bronzer in their sunscreen. I don't think mixing anything into a sunscreen is great just because they're made to be used as they are. Anytime you mix it and try to customize it, it never goes well. I even had a friend, I remember this vividly, in the summer, like when I was 17, we had a little job at the state fairgrounds in Minnesota when people were selling cars there or something. We were supposed to work. I didn't do much work. I just remember laying out in the sun and sleeping a lot of the time because I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But they had these little go-karts you could drive around. It was fun. But anyway, so she put on like SPF 50 sunscreen on her feet and then instantly put on an SPF 20 thinking she'd get like SPF 70. And her feet were so burned that day, she still has the little sandal marks on her feet like 20 years later. So anytime you mix things or layer them too quickly before they absorb, it's just not a good combination. But I think if you layer them, like give it 15 minutes in between, it'll be better. but I don't recommend mixing anything with sunscreen. It also gets in a conversation like a lot of YouTubers now are having where they're saying, oh, you can't really judge a product based on its ingredient list because it's the product as a whole. Like, so many people are saying that. And if you can't tell a product by its ingredients, what the heck then? Why are you even doing a video? So it's true with a lot of things, but sunscreen is specific because sunscreen as a formulation as a whole does impact things. You can't tell sunscreen totally based on like it's just its filters because there's other ingredients you can put in a sunscreen other than just the SPF filters that can affect the rating. Like there's algae that soak up rays as good as some chemical filters. So that's another thing to think about, which is another thing they're talking about with the Purito Centella, that some tests, it didn't turn red because of Centella, because Centella blocks your skin from getting red immediately. So the discussion of a product, its ingredient list as a whole, or just the product, it's kind of, you know what, if you got to be able to break a product down by its ingredients because that's what it's made out of. But the ingredients as a whole come together to work together in a unique, interesting way in each product. So it's kind of true, but still you got to be able to break a product down by its ingredients. So anyway, bless you. Japanese taste, yes. Yes. That site looks pretty legitimate, and their shipping looked to be kind of slower, but you know what? I'd rather wait and have something good come than get something crappy immediately. So, the Pipette, that's another brand, the Pipette. I've heard great things about that brand as well. So, I've got a nice list of sunscreens I want to try now. So, I've got the Norman UV Cure, the P20, the Pipette, the Kroger. So, anybody else add something to it. So, let's see. Okay. Skin and Lab free sunscreen. I have not tried Skin and... Okay, so let me go to this list. Because I've got a list of all the... Not all of them, but a lot of the people that they work with. This Nowcos brand. So, major customers. This is on their website of Nowcos, which is the Purito sunscreen manufacturer. So, on this, they've got Amore Pacific, Innisfree, Mamond. They've got the History of Faux, Some 37, Care Zone, the Face Shop, Tony Moly, which I wonder if they made some of these Tony Moly sunscreens. I mean, if sunscreen is a huge thing that they make, you have to assume that it might just be more than these specific brands. Nature Republic is another one of them. Clio, Callion, Olive and Young. And let's see if there's anything else I recognize. Holica Holica, Too Cool for School. They've got a big list of companies that they work with. So, Face Shop, LG Care. The biggest ones are More Pacific, Innisfree, and Mamond. Then obviously Purito and Claire's are on that list as well. So, anything from Vanilla. Vanilla's also on there. Vanilla just came out with a new sunscreen primer, but suddenly they're not advertising as a sunscreen primer. They're just advertising as a primer now. The Same. Is that how you pronounce it? S-A-E-M? Same? That's how I pronounce it in my head. But anyway, so those are the list of their major partners who they work with. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, I wonder what happened to brands under-promising and over-delivering. Isn't that what everyone is supposed to be doing in life? You're supposed to under-promise, tell them you're going to give them something good, and then give them something great. And now it seems like all these brands are over-promising and under-delivering. So I wish they would go back to being the other way. You know, tell us it's SPF 30, but have it be SPF 50. That's really what they should be doing. That's what they're supposed to do, instead of the other way around. So I just get worked up about that. But anyway, okay.
Did you do the stripping of the title?
Oh. Yes, Bior Althazim is good, and Anessa UV Milk. Those have done well in their tests, especially the Anessa and the studies. They've done well. Okay, so my major announcement I wanted to make. So the board has been meeting about Purito and how they won the Viewer's Choice Award in the No BS Beauty Awards. And the vote was a lot of it because people loved their sunscreens. So based on this fact, I am going to be stripping Purito of their Viewer's Choice Award, sadly. If I had thought that a lot of their votes weren't specifically because of their great sunscreens, I would probably let it stand. But I think it's important to maintain the integrity of the No BS Beauty Awards. So I will be removing them from the title, and I don't know if I should do a revote or just hand it down to the next best, the brand that got the next amount of votes. But let me know what you guys think. If you want to revote, we could do that. Or if you want me to just give it to the runner-up, let me know. But I think that's important because a lot of people voted on them based on their sunscreen, and the fact that their sunscreen is not a very good sunscreen, I think, has a major impact on that. So there we go. That's my major announcement tonight. Did some people think I was going to retire? I'm too young to retire. I've got at least 50 more years in me. Will people watch my YouTube channel when I'm 90, though? I don't know. If I have cute dogs, maybe. Okay. Let's see. The Neutrogena Sheer Zinc is still the best for acne-prone skin. The white cast is noticeable, but yeah, I've heard good things about that one. Neutrogena also had some sunscreens that didn't do amazing in their test, but their Sheer Zinc also has done pretty good. Overall, they have a lot of sunscreens that are great options, but some of them, you know, with the European sunscreens having access to all these great filters, sometimes it's hard to even compete, so let's see. Okay. Oh, the Dermatology Tinted Moisturizer SPF 47. I've got to review that one, too. I like that one. So, let's see. Okay, runner-up. Everyone wants to give it to the runner-up.
I'm just looking. I can't remember who it was. I'm looking it up.
Okay, we're looking it up. Altruist, that's also on my list. So, Paula's Choice deserved the award. Yeah? Most people want the runner-up. Some people do want a new vote, but I guess should we vote on, well, I'll announce who the runner-up was. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head, so okay. Oh, why don't I, you know what, I gotta post more on Instagram. I agree. I've got like all these cute pictures. I'm gonna work on that. You know what, I'm gonna make that my New Year's resolution to at least post like twice a week. I'm gonna do that. So okay. So I will, that's my New Year's resolution. Okay, so Dominique missed the CosRX. Personally, the CosRX Aloe, I'm nervous about it. That's my major thing. I'm nervous about it. I don't necessarily know that it's SPF 50. I kind of think anything with 2 filters might not be great. So I'm just nervous about it. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't rely on this on a very sunny day. But on a cloudier day. So, do we have a Facebook page? We gotta work on that too. We're so not good at stuff. Oh, somebody wants you to join me in a video. I'll have to get you a mask or something. Nobody can. It's Brad Pitt. So, let's see. Yes, you know what? The SVR, that brand has done well. I think I have that one. The SVR, they did very well in studies too. So New Zealand had a test where they tested 20 different sunscreens, and 9 of them did not meet the SPF claimed on the label. Some of them were Hawaiian Tropic, Nadeo, Cancer Society, Banana Boat. Some of them met the SPF but didn't have broad spectrum. Whatnot. I don't recognize the other brands. Just 8 sunscreens met their claims. The brand Zinc, Nivea, Badger, this other one I don't recognize, Smart 365 Sun, Neutrogena Ultra Sheer, and then the La Roche-Posay and Thelios. So that's interesting. So we've got that. Oh, another brand I want to talk about just really quick. Supergoop. A lot of people really trust them. And I think a lot of their sunscreens meet the SPF claims, but I've got a list of a lot of their sunscreens. Somebody asked about the UVA protection or the persistent pigment darkening ratings, and I've got those for some of them. Their Daily Correct CC cream had a 9.9 PPD rating, which is pretty low. Their SPF 30 Anti-Aging City Sunscreen Serum had 11.3. Their Everyday with Sunflower Extract Sunscreen had a 19, which is pretty good. Their Unseen Sunscreen, which is probably one of their biggest sellers, had a 9.9. And then their Super Screen Daily Moisturizer had a 9.7. So, those are pretty low for UVA protection. But, again, they're making sunscreens in the U.S. where you don't have access to all these great filters. So, it's really not totally their fault. Anyway. Okay, what was the runner-up?
Hey, hang on.
Oh.
It was... There it is. Paula's Choice.
Paula's Choice! There we go. Snow Giraffe called that one. So, Paula's Choice will now be the title carrier for 1 year for the Viewer's Choice Award. So, there we go. Congrats to Paula's Choice. Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure I talked about everything I wanted to talk about before I go on to something else. Okay. So, I think I've talked about most things I want to talk about. So, then let me... If anybody else has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go on to one more thing I just wanted to talk about, which was celebrity skincare lines, how they all have one. But I'm just going to make sure there's nothing else. Okay. So, Jennifer Lopez had a skincare brand which launched. And to me, it feels like in the 90s, every celebrity had a perfume. Perfumes sell for ridiculous amounts of money, and it really is just alcohol and fragrance. Now it seems like skincare is the next best thing. There's a lot of money in skincare. Skincare is projected to grow, I think, $36 billion in the next 20 years. A $36 billion increase in the market. It's a crazy huge market, and a lot of people are getting in on that. So now, instead of just having a perfume, the celebrities want a skincare line because you can make some money with perfume, but you can make a lot of money with skincare. Overall, ingredients can be pretty affordable. A lot of brands white label it, so they don't even have anything to do with it. But what I'm annoyed about... So I looked at the products. They all look average. I mean, nothing super exciting. They all have fragrance in them. Look like a run-of-the-mill average skincare line. But what annoys me about it is the fact that Jennifer Lopez has had... I'm not certain. She's probably had Botox. I believe she's had a facelift. How can you sell products to people when you're 50-some years old, but that's not really what you look like because you've had enhancements? That's what annoys me. If she were selling it more on the products and the ingredients, might be one thing. But when you're selling it because of who you are, people are going to buy it because they look at you and want to look like you. That's my issue, I think. You've had facelifts, you've probably had Botox. At least be honest and transparent about that and say, you know what? I may be 50, I look 30 because I'm multimillionaire. I can afford an esthetician. I can afford plastic surgery. I can afford Botox. I can afford laser. I can do whatever skin treatment I want, whenever, from whoever. But now I'm going to sell this to you guys, and you might hope to feel like you look young, but that's it. That's my thoughts on it. So, it's just the olive oil. Yeah, that's what she said. It's olive oil. Well, you've had a facelift. I don't even dislike her. I think she seems like a decent person. I mean, I don't know. But just don't try and solely make money just to make money. Have some integrity. Or maybe if she says it's olive oil, just make one product that's the olive oil. That is the magic that can do the trick that plastic surgery can't. I don't know. But all these celebrities seem to have a skincare line coming out now. It's just kind of like, it's like perfume from the 90s. And I personally, at first I'm like, I should try it and review it. But now it's like, I don't even want to spend the money to try it because I know right off the bat, a lot of it has fragrance. I know I'm probably just not going to like it anyway. And personally, for anti-aging, retinol is great. So find a good retinol, and that will do the trick that a lot of things can't. But and you know what? If you want to, I don't even care if they have plastic surgery. I don't care if you do Botox. Just be honest about it, though, and don't try and sell something, but say you're not doing these other things on the side. That's my thought on it. So it's irritating to me. So she used to cover herself with Lemur and Baza and olive oil. Yeah. Money is the real secret. I mean, if you can afford to have an esthetician do whatever the heck you want at any time, I mean, that will help you look young. Plastic surgery will. If I ever do Botox, I will do it on camera. I get asked about it like once a week, like why my face doesn't move. My face moves all the time. I mean, I don't do it. But if I ever do it, I will film it. So, anyway. Yeah, so if Jennifer Lopez says she only uses La Mer and La Prairie, why does she need a skincare line then? I mean, then I also question, are these people even using their own skincare line? Like Kylie Jenner, is she using that stuff? No, she's also doing plastic surgery and stuff like that, which I think is ridiculous when you're that young. And she was cute looking. She didn't need to do plastic surgery, but it's a little irritating to me. I just feel like focus more on your insides and yourself and do good things. I don't know. I think that looks good on people when you are a good person. So, anyway. Let's see. Yeah. So, celebrity skincare, I think, will continue next year and through the rest of the decade because celebrity skincare is what perfume celebrity was in the... I mean, Paris Hilton has a line, I think. I've seen it on, like, some of these beauty boxes, which is annoying. The Paris Hilton skincare line. I don't know. I'm not going to buy that, but maybe some people love it because they feel like they'll look like her. I don't know.
They want to see me, Sarah.
Huh?
They want to see me.
Oh.
That's from my younger days.
I can't see it. Are you showing it on the screen?
Yes.
Oh, I just see me. You sure it's showing on the screen?
I'm positive.
Really? Okay.
You can't see it?
Now I do. Okay. I need to do more live discussions. I will.
It's back.
Okay. There we go. So, one more little story I will share with you, just to show how much a dork I am. Oh, alcohol and sunscreens quick. You know what? At first I was really against it, but I feel like if you use it, if it's a good sunscreen, like the Alley one, if you use it over a good moisturizer and serum, and make sure to really moisturize your skin at night, I feel like I can forgive it. When it comes to essential oils and things like that in sunscreen, I feel like they react with the sun. It's not good. So, alcohol, I have listened up a little bit in my older age about alcohol and sunscreen, just because there's so many great sunscreens that do have alcohol in them. So, as long as you use it with a good routine, it shouldn't be super damaging, unless your skin is extremely dry or you have a broken down skin barrier or things like that. I'm getting a little bit more lenient on that. So, my husband is Brad Pitt. Diamond Dust is in Paris Hilton's sunscreen, or in her skincare. I had somebody ask me about the Peter Thomas Roth Hungarian mineral water cream and why it kept pilling on them. And I finally went to the ingredient list, and like in the top third of ingredients was like diamond dust. Diamond powder. I'm like, well, diamond powder doesn't really get absorbed by the skin, so that's probably what's causing the pilling. So I'm solving the world's problems one day at a time. One problem at a time. So, thank you, Celia. Okay. Yes, if you didn't watch the No BS Beauty Awards show, you're going to have to check it out. I have so much fun with it, so let's see. Okay, so my last little story. I'll do another one, and I will ask you guys what day works best ahead of time. So, 2 nights ago, me and cameraman and the dogs went over to my dad's house. I always make him dinner every night, and my dad has the 4 Yorkies that I always check in on, take care of. So we got there, and my dad's house has a physical fence and a dog fence. Oh, Krypton, thank you so much again. Oh, You guys are amazing. Is your husband a cop? Nobody plays one on TV with the dogs. Okay, so we get to Dad's house, and we shut the gate, and I let Ike out of the car, and then we go in the house, I start making dinner, and then Lincoln wears a fence collar, and the whole house is fenced in, but, so, like, I'm looking for Lincoln outside, and I don't see him, and it's darker than dark out. It's like 7 at night. It's cold. It's like 25 degrees. And cameraman looks for Lincoln. We can't find him. My dad looks for Lincoln. Nobody can find him. So I panic and start freaking out. So I get into the car and start driving around the neighborhood. Cameraman gets into my dad's car and starts driving around the neighborhood. And he's close to busy streets, so it's very stressful. So we're driving around for a half an hour, and I come back in the house. I think, God, could he be in the car? And then I thought, oh, I'm in the car. He's not in the car. So I get my dad. And we go looking, and I'm slowly driving around. I hear a panting because I had all the windows down because I'm yelling, Lincoln, 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 for a half an hour at the top of my lungs. So I stop the car, get out, thinking Lincoln must have heard me, and he's running behind. I don't see him. So I get back in the car, start going. I hear a panting again, and I pull over again, get out of the car, and thinking he's around, maybe ran in the bushes when I yelled at him. And then I asked my dad for the flashlight. He's got to be in these bushes around his neighbor's house or something. And as I get the flashlight shines on the back of the Subaru. And there's Lincoln in the back of the car. So we were driving 2 cars around for about an hour, screaming at the top of our lungs. And there he was. We never let him out of the car. And he was just sleeping back here there the whole time. And I was like stressed. I thought I was never going to see him again. I thought he was going to get hit by a car. I thought he was going to get killed by coyotes or something. So the whole time he was just sleeping in the back of the car. I don't know. Am I the biggest dork alive or what? I don't know. But it wasn't just me. It was everybody. None of us saw him back there. So, anyway. Yes, I'm a dork. But at least Lincoln is with us. Oh, there's Duty! Oh, he's a little muffin. There's Lincoln. He's so sweet. Oh, I'll have to do a live skincare actives video. That's a good idea. So, keep cool and soothe bamboo essence. At this point, I would not use it. They're testing it right now. So, hopefully we'll have some results again. Oh, there's Ike with his sunglasses. He only wears sunglasses at night, though. But he looks good in sunglasses, so. GPS for Lincoln. I want to get one of those GPS collars. That's what we need to get. Although, how can we GPS him when he's right there? You know what the GPS would have said? He's right with you. So, anyway.
I thought it wasn't working.
Yeah, gosh. I don't know when we're screaming at his name at the top of our lungs and he just ignored it or is sleeping or just kept being weighted like someday somebody will let me out of this car. So, oh, thank you. A hair care. I'll have to do a hair care video. I haven't done much on hair care, so I've been testing new brands lately, though, which has been interesting. And it really just keeps pushing me to my favorite brand, Moroccan So, there's Little Muffin. That's what I call him. He's my little muffin, so. Oh, someone got a GPS for their new dog after losing their dog at the You know what, dogs sometimes... Huh?
Ask them what kind.
Yeah, what kind? I have looked at them. The SRV Sick of It is great. That one is... That SRV, the SVR brand, they've done well in a lot of Consumer Reports. Yeah, it's tough. You know what? Some dogs, like at my house, I have a physical fence and electric fence. I don't trust either one on its own. Just because Lincoln, he can jump over almost everything. So a physical fence doesn't do much, but the electric fence he respects. Although I don't really ever turn up because I don't want him ever to get shocked. So I don't know. It beeps though, and he's scared of that. So anyway, yes. Hello, Ian. Okay, guys, so you guys can check this out. If you haven't, you can rewatch it. I'll post it. Oh, look at Muffin. He's standing on the planters. He's a baby. Yes, DM me with the brand. The Moroccan Oil shampoo. Currently, I'm using their purple shampoo, the Moroccan Oil purple shampoo, but I hate it because it stains everything. So the Moroccan Oil Hydrating Shampoo and the Moroccan Oil Hydrating Conditioner, I love them. I love them both. I've tried so many different products, and I keep coming back to that. So I'll definitely do more hair care stuff, though. Oh, is it confirmed about Purito? They're sending it to their labs to be tested. So, I guess it's not confirmed, but at this point, if you're using it, I would not use it until more information comes out. And lab tests can take like 2 months or longer. So I wish I had more money because I would test every single one of these like today, but they're like expensive to test. So maybe I should start a sunscreen lab. Wonder how much that would cost to start up.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands, you think?
To make tens of thousands.
Oh, I'll have to add that on my list of things to lose money doing. Because I would find that fascinating if I could test all these myself. Because I would love to test the can make one, and the CosRX one, but anyway. Okay, so you have a phobia of dogs. Oh no. I don't know what I'd do without dogs. I think I would go crazy, but... Oh, Michael's asking for our Instagram. Do you know a link to it?
I'll give me a second.
Okay, he's gonna post the link to it. So
there's not much there though.
There's not much there, but I'm that's my New Year's resolution. I'm gonna do more on it. So. Yes, Dale gave her a refund for the Claire's sunscreens. Huh. I did not know that. So that's good to know. So maybe they're gonna start refunding the Claire stuff too. I mean, it's interesting to see what's going to happen with Purito. There's a lot of people that really love the brand and are saying, forgive them. You know, every brand has had issues. But I just feel like there's more of a cover-up involved in this one than... That's my gut feeling. So there are other products. I've enjoyed using them. It does kind of get to be an issue, though, where you look at ingredient lists, like, is this really in this stuff? I mean... A lot of it's really not regulated or tested at all. I mean, if sunscreens out of skincare are the most regulated product of any skincare brand, and that's the most regulated, and these are just dropping like flies, I don't know. It makes me kind of question a lot of the other products, but I don't know. The Isn't Tree C Niacin toning cream. I love it. I love the Isn't Tree C Niacin ampule too. And the toning cream is great. So they're a brand I seem to trust and have good luck with. So have I tried the new mineral SPF balm from Supergroup? I have not, but I've heard good things about it. It's very hydrating, a lot of people say. Maybe I should pick that up because I think it'd be a good winter sunscreen for walking around outside in. So, well, that's good. I got a refund from Yesdale for 4 Purito and 4 Claire's. I like that. I wonder if I can get a refund. I'm going to have to talk to them. So. Sunscreens around the eyes. I know a lot of people have very sensitive eyes. My eyes are pretty sensitive. I tend to have good luck, but avobenzone is the one ingredient for me that really irritates my eyes. So I actually tried the Neutrogena Hydro Boost because I've been meaning to review it, and this one actually really bothered my eyes. And it's very fragrant. It has a lot of alcohol in it, so I'll try and review it, but I just don't like it so far. So. Cancer Counselor, they had one sunscreen that didn't do so well in testing, but a lot of their other sunscreens did great. So it feels like there's almost no brand you can implicitly trust with all of their sunscreens, because it feels like every brand has some sort of issue at some point. Or not every brand, but a lot of them do. So, I don't know. Just use your gut. Because if I would have used my gut, this might have been a totally different discussion today, because I probably would have not recommended the Purito one at all, but... I didn't trust my gut, which is irritating to me. But anyway, they didn't even. That's what I've heard. Yesda won't make you send the sunscreens back, which is nice because shipping there is probably not super easy. Yesda will just refund it and then let you keep them. That's what I've been hearing. So anyway, okay. Well, I will do another one very soon for you guys. So stay tuned, and then I will ask you guys ahead of time what day works best. So, the new Drunk Elephant Mist. Ooh, I didn't see that one yet. Am I still live or not?
Yeah, you're still
live. Oh, okay. I'm going to shop for that right now. Because First Aid Beauty, they just came out with a niacinamide serum I'm excited about. So, there's a lot of new products coming out right now, so I'm excited. So, anyway. Oh, the Murad Age Defense City Skin. That's done very good. The Murad Age Defense. I tried it. I liked it, actually, but I had a small sample. I haven't tried it for like an extended period of time, but a lot of people absolutely love it. I have a feeling it probably does have SPF 50, probably not super great on the UVA protection, probably average, but a lot of people really like it, and it's got some really good ingredients, so there we go. Well, thank you guys so much, and I will do this again a lot sooner than I did this last time. So, okay. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for the donations as well. You guys are all amazing. And I will see you more tomorrow. Am I done?